So there's something about the changing seasons that makes you more aware of the things in this world that you wouldn't otherwise be aware of. And I love this season of fall when the air gets crisp and the trees turn a variety of red, yellow, and orange, and you begin to drink hot coffee and cider again, and you put on a sweatshirt once again, and you remember just how good and fun the things of this season are. And I was recently up north on a morning walk looking at the trees, and it was real cold. It was the first time this season that it was cold enough that I could see my breath. And it just simply made me more aware of how I was breathing in those moments as I was able to see it. And it's interesting because we are always breathing. But it takes a shift for me when I become aware of my breath, a change in the season to see something I wasn't otherwise noticing, but that was always there. And I've been thinking about that because the scriptures describe the Spirit of God with this word, ruach, meaning breath. And in the Genesis narrative, the poetic language for the life that fills humanity is God's breath. So in the poetic language of the scriptures, God is breath. And in the same way that we are always breathing, God is always present to us. And in the same way we very rarely notice our breath, we very rarely notice God's presence. Unless there is a shift in the perspective, a change in the season for us to become aware of it. And so really the starting point of prayer and life with the Spirit is simply shifting our perspective and becoming aware, becoming present to the God who's always present to us and sitting in a space of presence with the Spirit. The great Saint Augustine said this, God is nearer to me than I am to myself. And so in a busy world, friends, where we are always bouncing from one thing to another, find some moments in your days to become present to the God who's always present to you. And in this changing season, the next time where you notice the cold and see your breath, let it remind you that God is nearer to you than you are to yourself. He is nearer to you than the very breath that fills your lungs. Grace and peace, friends. Have a good week.